Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the devlog on my game about battling robots. I left off last time with some rough first drafts of my player character and the two bots that they can summon. No animations, but some placeholder models to help me think about how the characters should act and move. Speaking of movement, I couldn't really decide if my character felt good to control. So I added a few basic animations for getting around. It's hard for me to tell if the controls in a game feel good if I can't see how the character is moving. It's like the movement on screen means nothing to me if I can't see their little feet walking. I also added a roll dodge. I want the character to be in the thick of battle but not have any attacks, so they've got to have a roll dodge. And I'm pretty happy with how the animation turned out. I started working on the enemy characters that would summon their own robots to fight the player, and it got me thinking more about what kinds of robots I want in this game. The two robots I had at the moment definitely wouldn't be enough, so I started prototyping some new ones. This early version of a cannon robot was something, but eventually I hacked together 4 little robots. The Walkie bot, which walks towards enemies and does a melee attack. The Zoomy bot, which backs up and charges at enemies. The Blaster bot, which moves very slowly but has an exploding ranged attack. And then the Wall bot, which just walks towards enemies. It has no attack, but a lot of health, and it explodes when it dies. With those bots created, the next step was to work on my system for letting the player spawn them. So I had to make some UI. On the left, we've got the player's health and scrap is the resource that a player can use to build their robots. Each robot costs 1 scrap, but also drops 1 scrap when they die. This is partly to limit the player's abilities to summon a huge mob of robots right away, but it also encourages players to dash into combat and grab precious scraps before they disappear. Then on the right, I have some slots for players to equip different robot designs. The idea here is that a player could unlock many robot designs, but they would have to pick 3 to take into battle. You would only be able to access this menu outside of battle. Making the robots bind to any key was kind of a headache, but I'm glad I figured it out. At this point, I decided I had the pieces to construct a playtest. You gotta playtest early and often, at least that's what other people say. So I whipped up a very short level to play through. You would start with just 1 robot unlocked, the Walkie bot, then battle through a series of enemy inventors, unlocking their robots as you defeat them. Then at the end of this line of inventors, you would have some big battle or something. Then I made my brothers play the game, and it went well for a first play test.
Oh, that's the Blaster bot. Oh no. Okay, hold on, wait. Blaster bot.
Once you know, like,
so interesting.
once you know, like, the alternate roll technique, like,
When do you think you'll learn the ultimate roll technique?
dude, sound forward, left, back, right, dude.
They're very supportive after all. Based on what I saw and heard, the robots didn't feel very balanced, and it was hard to anticipate what all of the robots were going to do. So the main issues for me to work on next are gonna be the balance between the robots and clarity in combat. But I think that's a pretty good place to leave it for now. Peace!